Beautiful to love, beautiful to trust. Above is like below, and all of it's enough. Beautiful to love, beautiful.
Welcome to Nobody's Tribe. My name is James, and this is my beautiful companion,
Ashley.
And today we are going to speak what we can on questions she has written down that we hope will help and expand our collective consciousness. First question is...
Your
My phone? Oh.
It works now.
If I say collective consciousness, my phone starts...
Install the app, then try again.
My phone starts recording.
How does one know if a teaching is truth?
Ooh. How does one know if a teaching is truth? This is rocky water, for lack of a better term. Rocky water. We're surfing on rocky water here. How does one know if a teaching is truth? That would have to go with how it resonates with you personally. I'll give an example of teachings that I would find to be untruthful, because in truth, whatever somebody's teaching, in their experience, their reality, they're teaching a truth. But to find one that is truthful for what we're trying to go towards as far as a heart-centered consciousness, it would be the idea of heart-centered resonance would be lack of urgency. So if somebody has a teaching that is talking about the urgency, and if you don't do this, then you're screwed, or if you don't do this, then you're going to be taken to the bad place or something, you could be sure that it's not truthful. Also, based off of the resonance of the teaching and how it makes you feel, if you listen to a teacher and they say like, hey, don't get your hopes up because things aren't gonna fix themselves and stuff's going to be negative and you just need to, like, it'll start to feel like kind of compressive on you. I always recommend go by what you feel in the body. There are some teachers that I've resonated with deeply as truth, and there's other people that I find conscious that didn't resonate with that teacher, and it has nothing to do with whether they're truthful or not, because a really truthful teacher will tell you that they're not going to give you the only truth. Like a lot of my videos, I've explained vividly that I can only give you a perspective, and that perspective I hope you could take and use it to create your reality in a different manner. So I guess we can do a couple keynotes. It has a heart-centered resonance, so it's making you feel more expanded, and it's helping you to grasp a more defined definition of your reality. Non-specific. Sometimes when they are specific, the teacher will say, I know this is specific, but this is what I'm getting. So non-specific is usually a key sign that they're helping you to go within and find your own. Non-specific, non-urgency, so there's no negative urgency like you better do this or you're done or you're going to be left behind or you're going to get short-circuited by the wave beams of existence or something like that. And let's see, number 3 would be, I don't even,
That's number 4.
is that number 4? I don't even know how many I'm doing, but I guess again it all has to do with resonance and how it feels in your heart and how it works. If anybody is saying that they're telling you the truth and to not listen to other people, that they seem to be very focused on their message being some sort of like, I have this one connection to source in this manner, and you need to listen to me, and they seem kind of like as if they have the whole piece of the puzzle and they're going to give it to you, and seems very specific as in they have all the knowledge. You can be pretty clear that they may have a spiritual ego and they're not in the right intentions. Doesn't mean they're evil. For all they know, they believe themselves, so that's fine. Everybody has a piece of the puzzle in our creation of this existence, so I can only give a dissection. I could slice up the truth and I can give it to you through my experience, and I hope that can co-create with your experience to be beneficial for you. So there's an idea on that. Next question.
What is the possible downfall of identifying with conclusions?
Okay, so conclusions is something that is rampant in the spiritual community. We all want to know what's going on, and the thing is because we've been so mind dominated for eons, we always seek to have facts about what's going on so that we are in the know. It's actually a form of spiritual ego. I myself being a victim of it, okay, I'm not a victim of it, but I myself being falling prey to this throughout my spiritual path, which is the desire to know more than other people so that I could be the giver of this great news. And as Eckhart Tolle says in one of his books, that's actually a form of ego, which is for a moment feeling superior to others because you know more than them. So conclusions can be the rise of your spiritual, conclusions and knowledge can be the rise of your spiritual journey, and it can be the absolute downfall. As Matt Kahn said, that knowledge is only something that you're supposed to wake up from. So each knowledge that you get to build your spiritual path is going to be something that you're going to wake up from and wake up out of as another dream or as another false idea of truth. So drawing conclusions, identifying with conclusions, it can be negative in the following ways. If you are identified with a conclusion that you found to be this is it, then you all of a sudden are under attack if somebody does not agree with that conclusion. You feel that somebody is attacking you because your conclusion has been attacked, and so you've identified with that and say, no, I'm betting on this. This is the conclusion that is the truth, and I'm pretty sure of it, and all these people are saying it, so you're wrong and all that. There's nothing wrong with having a general sense of the world going in a certain direction. That's fine, but if you become offended or become irritated with you can know if you're identified with a conclusion if you become irritated when somebody else doesn't agree with that conclusion. I'll give an example. I had recently on Facebook, somebody had really identified with the idea that like evil is so bad, and that the fault of evil is all of the people that aren't doing the right things. They're not getting rid of the evil. And I simply went in and explained that the idea of evil is simply the false use of power, and that the difference between an evil person and a holy person is that a holy person or a divine heart-centered person is using their power, their true power within, whereas a evil person is actually using power that takes, and power that divides, and power that separates. So it's just a false use of power. And so that we shouldn't actually consider it to be evil. We should love it, and we should try to move it in a positive direction. And it turned into a vicious attack on my character, and that people like me are the cause of all of the problems in the world, and that if anybody listens to my teachings, then they're going to fall victim to this terrible problem of evil. And so this person had become so identified with the idea of evil that it took over their form. So when someone becomes so identified with a conclusion, they can actually end up in acting out the negativity they feel towards this. They embody it themselves, and it can make them kind of turn into a rather monster. And so this can happen with any conclusion where you're like, you know what, I think this person's going to win the election. And then somebody's like, I don't think that person's winning the election. And then all of a sudden you turn into some demon about how wrong they are. And doesn't really matter because nobody truly knows what's going to happen. It's like two people have stories in their mind, and they've bumped these stories into each other, and then they're fighting about it. And then once we get to the end conclusion, both of them are wrong, and then they just fought about nothing. So I've done it. I'm pretty sure you've done it. But identifying with conclusions brings us to a place of non-love, and love is the whole point of this, because you can't be loving somebody if you're angry with them about a story in your guys' heads. So the idea would be to not identify with conclusions. You can have them, but if you notice yourself getting irritated when others aren't agreeing with it, or if you found that the whole world's holographic and everything's holographic and we're multidimensional human beings, and somebody else says, we live and die, we go to heaven or hell, and then all of a sudden you just start telling, no, the world's holographic. You need to know it's holographic. We're multidimensional. Again, you start freaking out on them, and you need to convince them that the world's holographic. You become a spiritual ego, and you forgot that there's a deeper expression of love, and that basically first loves and asks questions later. So if somebody is completely opposite end of the polarity than you are on their conclusions of life, the best thing you can do is love them and treat them as a servant, and not try to convince them of something that they're never going to understand at all. So I've tried it thousands of times, and I learned the hard way that you can't get too excited about what your conclusions and your ideas you found, because to somebody else's path that would be irrelevant. To somebody that's deep in a different spiritual path, to tell them that the world's holographic, it would mean very little to them. It would just sound kind of foreign. So yeah, that's on conclusions. The key, guys, is heart-centered expansion. If we get too caught up in knowledge, then we won't be helping people. We will seriously just be helping our ego and helping to expand what we believe to be true, which at times can be relevant, but not always, to being of service to everybody else through heart-centered awareness. Next one.
Should we be preparing for September?
Oh, guys, September. There's a lot of stuff about September, and I gotta say yes and no. By preparing for September, if you mean like sitting back and waiting and just like stopping what you're doing and just like preparation, like, ooh, I wonder what's gonna happen. No, I don't think so. I think all time is now, so we have access to all we need now. The key thing, which I've been trying to integrate in my life, is to be absolutely focused on your expression of yourself at this moment. So always be focusing on the bettering of your life, bettering of your physical body, the bettering of your spiritual connection, your meditations, going within now. And if you're constantly focused on your now, and you're constantly in bettering and expanding and expressing your life in the present moment, you have no need to prepare, worry, freak out, or get too excited for September. What's going to happen in September? I have no idea. I hear lots of things, and a lot of them seem correlated about a very powerful shift in consciousness happening. How that's going to manifest for your experience, I couldn't tell you. I don't know how it's going to manifest for mine. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. But key thing is making peace with your present moment, and asking yourself how you're going to better your relationship with the now. And if you're constantly doing that, then you're prepared for everything. So it wouldn't really matter what happens or what manifests. Should you start storing all your food for a world catastrophe? Should you take all your money out of the bank? I can't advise you to do that. I can't tell you any of that. I'm not an economist. I have lots of spiritual conclusions that I've come to, and if they're true, I have no idea. I treat my own mind like a friend of mine, and he has lots of belief systems, and he has lots of complaints and ideas and worries, and I just can't listen to him, and I don't even understand if my own mind is correct at any time. I second guess him all the time as well. So my brain would love to give you a bunch of ideas of what's going to happen and what you should do, and I can be an expert on it, but I really don't truthfully know. Key is love yourself above all else. It doesn't mean don't love people, but I mean, if you can't give people love if you don't have any for yourself. So love your own heart, be of service, try to do something positive in your local community, do something positive for people at work, write a nice things on paper, post them up places, connect people to your own blogs, connect people to positive blogs online. You can just get people integrated, get people loving, and I feel like that would be the best movement we can do going towards September. If you guys want to check out any of my help, I've gone through lots of different types of suffering, drug addiction, and stuff like that, and I have help on onenesswithinus.wordpress.com, or you can go to my YouTube, which you may be on it right now, which is Nobody's Tribe. It's NOBODIS space tribe. And if you guys want to donate to support me and my fiance as we try and help expand the collective unconscious or collective conscious, I guess we can do both of them. You guys can donate at
I just drew a blank.
GoFundMe.com/Nature's Light. I'm not bringing her in these anymore. We love you all. Thanks for watching our video, and we hope you guys have a beautiful day. Safe travels in the now. Me, moo, ma, me, ma.
Or poop on my chair.
Bird poop. Just cover it up with your body.
Ew.
No bird poop now. Bird poop gone.